Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Magi-Knights Awakening. This is actually the feature of this video. Magi-Knights Awakening is a Super Sentai magical girl inspired tabletop RPG, where you get to confront mythos-like horrors. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Dead Tree Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released Daughters of Lamb. This is a pay-what-you-want tabletop RPG where you play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find it in their website, the links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. They have recently released Savage Swords. This is a Conan-inspired tabletop RPG where you get to explore ancient civilizations and confront forgotten nightmares. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment as well. Now tonight, just like I said, I am continuing the review series featuring Magi-Knights Awakening. Let me share this image over here. There we go. This time specifically, we are going to talk about gear, shards, and runes. This is handled somewhat differently when compared to other tabletop RPGs. It is assumed that all characters have a decent income through a part-time job, a generous allowance from their parents, guardians, or some other source. But it could also be handled in different ways depending on the scenario, the campaign. Any purchases of items which might see more frequent use or play. That is, they play a larger role or importance during the course of a scenario or campaign. They can be obtained through budget tallies. Desired objects, quality levels, budget tallies, all of that is explored in this particular section. You have a list of mundane gear. Some of it is quite 90s, of course. You have boomboxes, CDs, compact film cameras. You also have more conventional things such as lighters, long-range communicators, magnifying glasses, and so forth. Now, sometimes a player really wants something that should be relatively out of their character's immediate financial reach. But you can perhaps ask your parents for money or get a part-time job. After all, this game focuses on the 90s teenager lifestyle, and budget tallies represent the price or the cost to obtain these desired objects. Let's say that you want something that is really valuable. Maybe you need to obtain part of the tallies. You need 10 in total, so you obtain 5 from your parents, 3 from your part-time job, and 2 from a friend borrowing money, and that's how you obtain the value to get that desired item or desired object. Desired objects also have a quality level, which dictates the craftsmanship of the item itself. Now let's talk about shards of power. These are a bit, if not complex, a bit more nuanced, not complicated, complex rather. Shards of power are rare objects that contain mysterious powers, typically created through an advanced form of alchemy that is outside the scope of human comprehension. You have various examples, such as the Shard of Clarity. The use of this shard restores MP equal to 1d10 plus your Magi Knight level. You also have things such as the Shard of Rejuvenation. You ignore the additional effects of stress and exhaustion until the end of your next turn and reduce your stress and exhaustion points by 1. There are many others such as Shard of Magical Force, Shard of Purification, Shard of Fortune, and so forth. Now, when it comes to gathering Gloom Gems, inert spectral energy is energy left behind by cultists or outsiders when they are physically defeated through the use of soul weapons or mentally defeated through the use of convincing arguments and the loss of a desire to serve the invading evil. The lingering inert spectral energy is changed from an ethereal byproduct into a solid and crystallized one by the Magi-Knights, which are called Gloom Gems by the Herald. Magi-Knights gather Gloom and Gems collectively. You roll a number of dice equal to the energy rating, distributed as evenly as possible among all squadron members. Now, when it comes to exchanging these Gloom Gems, that is pretty much condensed energy. The Herald extracts the stored energy within Gloom Gems and uses his alchemical powers to change them into other potential objects such as Shards of Power, Weapon Runes, and Armor Runes. You have various examples here of such objects formed from energy, such as the Weapon Runes, Enhanced Element. Your weapon damage increases by 1d6. Radiant Energy. Once per round, when rolling 16 or more on your weapon attack roll, you restore hit points equal to your Magi-Knight level. You also have soul gun attachments, such as scopes, magazines, rails, underbarrels. They'll give you various bonuses and magical properties. When it comes to armor runes, you have things such as the Flash Step. Once per sleep phase, as a reaction, you receive only half damage from any source and reappear up to 30 feet away. You also have Weapon Absorption. Once per sleep phase, reduce physical damage by a number of d12s equal to your reputation level. And there are many others, of course, and many other objects, such as Magi-Knight Visors, Soul Armor Whips. There's a lot of stuff here. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part, we are going to talk about Forging Bonds. Wow, this section is packed. It is super impressive. You won't run out of all sorts of items that you can use to customize your character. It's going to be very fun to think about the different bonuses, magical properties that you can apply to your knight by wielding any or equipping any of these items. And you can even come up with your own. Thank you for watching this part of the review series. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. You can also check out the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, roleplay solves everything. Once again, thank you and see you later.